Hello there and welcome to the football review for the weekend. We've had some FA Cup action and we've also had some Premier League action as well, which is obviously what we're focused on here with Liverpool. And obviously I'm going to go with the FA Cup action first, get that out of the way because I'm not going to go into too much detail with it because, to be honest, I didn't really watch a great deal of it. But the key ones that we've obviously got here, people going into the semi-finals after this stage as well. You've got Swansea versus Tottenham. Tottenham going through 3-0. Very comfortable win for Tottenham by the looks of it. And that's with them missing Harry Kane, their top scorer, and one of the top scorers in the Premier League as well. But they go through. They don't seem to be missing him at all. They've got such attacking talent that when he is missing, this happened last year, I think, when Harry Kane got injured. Heung-min Son stepped up, but they've got other people that are now stepping up as well. And they've gone through 3-0 against Swansea, quite comfortable. Another comfortable victory by the looks of it for Manchester United. They go through 2-0 against Brighton. Can't even remember who the goals were from, to be honest with you. But Mourinho comes out after the game and he just tears into his players again, apart from the island that is Matic. So I'm not really sure what Mourinho's tactics are here. Obviously, we're in March now. I can't even remember what date it is today, the 19th. So we're in the 19th of March right now. So is he starting to, get on these players' backs, especially the likes of Luke Shaw, Martial, Juan Mata? Is he getting on all these people's backs as a way for the summer, so that when summer comes round, he's going to get rid of these players and he's going to try and bring in an influx of other players? Who knows? But he's done this at other clubs. He's done it at Real Madrid, where he really wound up a lot of other players. Does it at Chelsea, where the players just they stopped playing for him. I don't know. I don't really know what the tactic is here. But we'll just see what happens in the summer, I guess. But they go through to the semi-finals. They should be pretty happy with that, I would say. Then you go on to Sunday's FA Cup games. Southampton, first game under Mark Hughes against Wigan. Now, obviously, Wigan, I think, if I'm right, they beat Man City to get to this stage. Well, Southampton, they roll out 2-0 winners. And that's a massive positive for Mark Hughes. Because Mark Hughes, even myself thinking, when I've spoken to people when I'm at work and such like that, how does Mark Hughes keep getting a job? Like, when you've got, and I said the same about Pardew, like managers like Pardew and such like that as well. How do they keep getting jobs when they're not successful? Now, obviously, he's been quite successful at Stoke in consideration of their club success. I think they got into the top half of the table a good few times as well. But this season, they've kind of tanked it a little bit. So coming to Southampton, a place where he used to play, maybe they were hoping that he was going to invigorate them a little bit more and he was going to get more out of them. And that kind of seems to be the case, to be honest, because they've won 2-0. They go into the semi-finals. That's quite an unbelievable result for Southampton because they haven't had a very good season. It kind of looks like all of the selling of their players in recent seasons was catching up to them. Now, can this be the catalyst for them to save themselves from Premier League relegation? It very well could be, in my opinion, when you've got the likes of West Ham that look like they're just capitulating and they're gonna drown themselves, with all the things that are going on with the board, how unhappy the fans are and such like that. Anybody can get sucked into that relegation battle, as well as anybody can get out of it, probably apart from West Brom. Anyway, let's move on to the last game of the FA Cup, and it was Chelsea versus Leicester, which actually, after extra time, went 2-1 to Chelsea, with Pedro scoring the winner. Vardy gets the equaliser, and I am not entirely sure. I think, was it Morata scored for Chelsea? It may have been. Can't remember. But even so, it was after extra time. Leicester put up a good fight, but it was just that little bit of quality. I say a little bit of quality, right? If you've got someone like Pedro, who's one of the smallest players on the pitch, and he scores a header, I don't know, you've got to kind of question your defence there, I've got to say, you really do. But Chelsea go through, and then I think the draw was Man United are going to play Tottenham, which probably that's going to be a hell of a game, I would say, and then Chelsea versus Southampton. So Southampton have got a very tough one there. Can Chelsea get past them? Probably, but you never know what can happen at these stages of competition. So that is the FA Cup stuff out of the way. I know I've spent a little bit more time on it than I would want to, but even so, we're going to hit all of the other Premier League games before we come to Liverpool. So, Stoke versus Everton. So Charlie Adam gets sent off, right? Charlie Adam gets sent off, and it was quite a stupid tackle from what I remember seeing of it. Cenk Tosun, I think his name is, the Turkish guy. He scores 2 goals for Everton, and kind of looks like, is he now going to start getting a run of form, or a run of games, I should say, under Allardyce, because he hadn't really been getting started, hadn't really been getting played, and he comes on. He starts this game. He scores 2 goals. The first one was a bit of a scrappy goal. Second one was a good header, and he scored 4 goals in his last 3, I believe it is. So give the guy a run of, give him a run of games. Stoke, on the other hand, I just don't think they're going to make it. I really don't. I think that for the talent levels that they've got, they're really letting themselves and the club down. They should be doing better for the talent levels and stuff like that they've got in the team. They should be doing better, but I think they are going to be one of the ones that are going to go down, along with West Brom. Speaking of West Brom, AFC Bournemouth versus West Brom. Now, I think West Brom actually took the lead in this one, went 1-0, and then Bournemouth, around about the 70-odd or 75th minute or something like that, came back, scored 2 goals. They win 2-1 against West Brom. And Bournemouth look like they're finishing the season quite well. They're not going to... I don't think Bournemouth are anywhere near relegation right now. They could be. I might be wrong. Haven't even looked at the table today, to be honest. So let's have a look. Where were Bournemouth? Yeah, Bournemouth are 10th in the table. So, I mean, they're going to be pretty free and clear, I would say. They're 6 points... They're 8 points above Southampton. So that's looking pretty good for Bournemouth, you've got to say. West Brom, they're down. They're down and out. They're on 20 points. They're 10 points away from 17th, which is where West Ham are. This is what I mean. Like, West Brom are done, in my opinion. I think West Brom are gone. Not that I wanted them gone. I've got nothing against West Brom. They're just gone. And I struggle to find a reason why Alan Pardew still has a job, or he still gets jobs, with the job that he did at Newcastle, the job that he did at Crystal Palace, where they again, relegation battle. This isn't even a relegation battle. This is just relegation. We've given up and we're going down. That's all it is here. I really do struggle to find. And just think, a couple of years ago, Alan Pardew people were talking about him getting the England manager's job. Wow. Anyway, Crystal Palace versus Huddersfield, or Huddersfield versus Crystal Palace, I should say, and Palace picked up a vital win there. They got 2 goals. And I'm trying to think, I believe this was when Wilfried Zaha was coming back. And he did. He came back in this game. Milivojevic got a goal and James Tompkins got a goal, which James Tompkins wasn't here at West Ham. My God, they could use him now. Anyway, they won 2-0. Huddersfield, in my opinion, didn't really pose a threat, even though they had a lot more possession. Well, kind of more possession than they did. But Crystal Palace, when they've got Zaha in the team, they just look like a completely different team. He's such a talented player. And he's going to be vital for them staying up, because I think if we look at the table, Crystal Palace are in 16th, so they're 1 point away from being on level points with Huddersfield, and they could go above them as well. So yeah, it was a very vital win for Crystal Palace, very vital win for Roy Hodgson, who I think we play them after the international break. I am not sure, but that could be, that'll be decent. But good win for Crystal Palace. And then on to Liverpool versus Watford, and unbelievable stuff. Like, some people don't understand why I get nervous before a Liverpool game, and it's just a thing. Like, I want us to do really well. I want us to do well all the time. I want to be able to feel like, yes, I'm confident in Liverpool. And I just think over the last couple of years, we've just had some seasons where we're like, we should be doing well. Like, even last year, we went down to the final day of the season to confirm that we were going to be in top 4 in the 4th place. I think Arsenal were a point away from us. They won their final game of the season. I think they won like 9 out of their last 10 games. They went on a hell of a run, and we did it against Middlesbrough 3-0. I'm just always a little bit, when we come up against some of the lower teams in the league, especially after that Man United result as well, where we lost 2-1, to react like we did here, and for Mohamed Salah to react in the way that he did. Mohamed Salah is just an absolute animal in the best way, because he's not an arrogant guy. He doesn't look like an outwardly arrogant guy. He apologised to the Watford keeper at the end of the game. He apologised. You could see it. He said, "I'm sorry." He walked up to him, shook his hand, and walked away with the match ball, scoring 4 goals, people. 4 goals. We scored in the 4th minute of the game, and then for like the next 40 minutes or 39 minutes, whatever, we looked pretty nervous. But then Salah comes up with the goods again from a beast of a cross from Andrew Robertson, who, again, I'm going to make a separate video about our transfers and how they've done this season. I'm going to do one this week because obviously it's the international break and I won't have anything else to talk about. So I'm going to talk about our signings, because I'm telling you now, I've got some things to say about Andrew Robertson. Wow, I've got to say I've eaten humble pie about Andrew Robertson as well. Firmino scores an insane goal right from a cross from Mohamed Salah. So Mohamed Salah not only scores 4 goals, but the 5th goal, he assisted on it as well. But, I mean, it was like people saying, oh, what a crazy spinning back heel by Firmino. It wasn't. It wasn't a heel. There was no way that touched his heel. If his knee is his heel, great stuff. Fantastic. Then, you know, human anatomy is going to be questioned entirely. But it did. It came off his knee. It was a fantastic goal. It really was. And then Salah, 77 minutes, scores his hat-trick, scores his first hat-trick for Jurgen Klopp, and didn't know that this is the first Premier League hat-trick under Jurgen Klopp in 99 games. 99 games. In 99 games, Liverpool, under Jurgen Klopp, have scored 206 goals. That's unreal. That's unbelievable stats. And then Mohamed Salah rounds it off, 85th minute. Goalkeeper just was not happy with Danny Ings wanting to get a goal, so he decides to just do this, not actually catch the ball. Mohamed Salah's there to fire it in the back of the net, and it was 5-0. Clinical, absolutely clinical. Takes our goal difference to plus 39. Takes our goal difference plus 39, which means we now have the second best goal difference in the Premier League. Obviously, Man City have got the best with plus 65, but even so, we're doing well. It means that we've bounced back against Man United, and hopefully we can continue this run of form. Obviously, teams like Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, they haven't played this weekend, so they won't be playing until after the international break. So they're all going to be on 30 games. We've now played 31. We've got 7 games left. They've all got another game on top of us. So there is still the chance that Tottenham could take us back over in the league, but we also put a little bit of daylight again between us and Chelsea in 5th. So, I mean, that is the main thing there, that we can, you know, we've got to remember, even if we place 4th in the league, that we go straight into the groups. Okay, there's no qualifying process like we had this year. So, I mean, it's positive. It is all positive. And how can you not be positive when you witness a performance like that from Mohamed Salah? You have to absolutely just take your hat off if you're wearing one, or put one on so you can then take your hat off to Mohamed Salah, because that man is an absolute, he is a magician. He is an absolute magician, and we are so lucky to have him. 37 million, or whatever the figure was, 36.5 million for Mohamed Salah. 28 goals in the Premier League, 28 goals in 30 games, because I think he's only missed 1 due to a slight injury. 28 goals in 30 games. 36 goals in all competitions, never mind the 9 assists that he's got as well this season, which means he's contributed to 45 goals this season, whether he's assisted or he's scored them himself. Unbelievable statistics, and that is how I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I'd normally do a separate Liverpool video and stuff like that, and I kind of wish I did, but I didn't actually have time to, like, kind of watch the game, and then we were just doing stuff. I didn't have time to do one, so apologies for that. But I hope that this video will suffice, and hopefully, yeah, look forward to I'm going to do a video about the transfers and stuff that we've made in the summer. I'm going to maybe do one about all the players as well, group them together, the defence, the goalkeeper. Definitely need to talk about Karius as well, because he's just been put up for an award in Germany, so that's really, really cool to see. But I'm going to do that. If you've got any thoughts about any videos you want me to talk about, or is there anything that you want me to talk about specifically, the Premier League, the Champions League, Europa League, or players just in general, best and worst of the Premier League, maybe that could be an idea that I've just had off the top of my head. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go have some breakfast. Thanks ever so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate everybody that comes back and watches these videos, or if you're new around here and you come in and watching, hey, subscribe, and I'm going to give you content as much as I can. Thanks very much again. I hope you have a good day, and I will catch you later.